as I was thinking about what we are doing, it really is an opportunity for people to connect with their beingness. We are not conscious of the compartmentalization. We just say, this is who I am, right? Who you are is different depending on the environment that you find yourself in or the people that you find yourself connected with. So I hold myself out as an example. At 71 years old, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey to self-acceptance. And I think it may be that way for many of us, that we look at the pieces of ourselves and decide, I can show that. No, I can't show that. Is there a danger? How deep is the danger if I show you all of me? Oh, I can show these people this part of me, and these people this part of me, and these people this part of me. And then the question is, how long before you get tired of just compartmentalizing your beingness?
Hello, Facebook. Hello. Good evening.
Hey, how are you?
I know this is Letitia. Hey, girl. Hey, we about to have the drawing. Just stay tuned. You might feel good. All right. So before we get too far into it, my name is Carrie Crosby. I am the founder and CEO of ATPA Impact Group, where we plant positive seeds of change on a consistent basis because we know it is possible to eliminate competition through collaboration. Because I can't do you, and baby, you can't do me. So this is Dr. Sue. You can't do Dr. Sue either. Tell me who you be.
Hey, y'all, I'm Dr. Sue, currently in Atlanta, getting ready to move to Florida. I am an energy healer, a life coach. I do a little bit with a lot of things. I am an intuitive, but tonight I'm a communicator. I am the great communicator. How about that? So we're going to have a good time.
I was getting ready to say it, but I'm the comedian. I'm like, and is.
Sometimes I'm a comedian too.
Yes, you guys see in the description I wrote, we're going to talk about the power of awareness, and Dr. Sue going to tell all her business.
Yeah, like she always does. She tells her business to make a point, y'all.
It says you guys have an echo. I don't really hear anything, honestly.
Yeah, I can hear it.
You can? I can't hear it. But I'm not sure what to do about it. I'm not tech savvy in that area. So hopefully y'all can at least make out what we're saying. So let me let down my volume a little bit. And that may.
I will power off my phone and see if that.
Where though? I have no idea.
Let me say something. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh no.
I think the echo is gone. Yes. No, it's not.
Close Facebook online. Huh? I don't know what that means either. But we're going to press on to the mark. It said that's better. Okay. We're going to press on towards the mark of the higher calling. So tonight, we are going to be continuing our discussion about the book, The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. So our first series, we did 1 through 3, chapters 1 through 3. Then we did 4 through 7 last week. We missed the live on Friday because I had other. Paula, I see you slid on in here. What's up? Because I had a friend come in town. So we're merging my Sunday live and the Friday night live into one. So here we go. So before we start talking about the book though, I did a challenge inside of my Sacred Space group, and it is for women. Paula, I see you out there. If you want to join it. I'll put all the links in the comments. But I challenged the ladies in the group to write a letter of celebration to themselves. So everybody who wrote the letter is going into a drawing to win something. So I'm going to be sending them, I wrote it down so I won't forget to pack the box right. I'm going to send them a bath soak, a foot soak, an intention stone, and a pillow spray. So whoever wins, you can let me know like some things what I like. I want to send you what you need. So I'm going to make you a foot soak to pull out whatever it is you're working on. I'm going to send you a bath soak to help cleanse you and mellow you out to feel whatever you want. Like, do you need one in the morning because you need something to be, you need to wake up? Or do you need one at night and you've been having trouble sleeping? You want to ease, or you got tense muscles, I'm going to send you that. And then the pillow spray would be one for, you can use it to enhance your dreams. You can do it to enhance manifestation, focus, sleep. If you want more active dreams, or you want your dreams to calm the hell down, we'll craft you something and send it to you. So that is the prize for tonight. And
I want one. Can I have one?
You get some. Now you have anything I get. Now you know good way you have anything I get.
I'm just saying. That sounds so good, y'all, doesn't it?
All right, that is coming through. So Letitia, she's in the chat. She's one of the ones that entered to win. So I'm trying to share this from ATVA to my personal page because I don't think I did. Share now. There we go. All right, perfect. Now let's roll because I just want to make sure if anyone else wanted to jump on here before I did the drawing that they jumped on and see if anyone's in Sacred Space. Yeah, we got somebody there as well. All right, so we're getting ready to do the drawing. So these are the people that are going to be entered. We have Miss, can't even see it, can the light too bright. Okay, Janisha. We got Janisha. We got Danielle. Then we got Megan Marie. Oh, there you go. Megan Marie. And then Letitia. Oh, you in there, girl. You in there. And then we got my friend, Sister Tara. And then we also have Sharita. So I'm just going to ball these up like this because, like if you try to fold something the same.
Yeah.
They ain't the same. I'm just going to ball them up in little balls and we're going to see what happens. I wish I had a drum roll. All right, Megan said, oh, yeah. She's in the group. So, all right, Megan, you about to go in there, girl. We're about to see the winner. Then we're going to get talking about this book. And by the way, if y'all want to do the Zoom tonight, let me know if you want to do the Zoom tonight. But typically, I'm only on here like 20 minutes or so. And I know me and Sue will be on here for a minute. We already been on here for 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
That's because Terry loves to talk. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Blame over there on
her. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. All right, so here are all the little things in my hand here. I'm going to shake them. La cucaracha. La cucaracha. Can you see it in the bright, Dr. Sue?
I see the light in your hand, but I can't see.
I got one. All right, I got one. Let's see who the winner is. And then we're going to talk about The Power of Awareness by Neville, Goddard. The winner is Megan Marie. Megan Marie is the winner, the first official winner of the Sacred Space Society. So you are the winner. I'll get with you and you can tell me what you want in your little goodie box. So you got a bath soak, a foot soak, an intention stone, and a pillow spray. So just let me know. She said, ooh, I guess that's what that say. It's like, what that say?
Congratulations.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and go on with the topic tonight. So tonight we are going to be talking about chapters 8 through 11. And the eighth, starting with the 8th chapter. You are so very welcome. I can't wait to get with you and see what you want. Chapter 8, the name of it is renunciation. So how many people out there are familiar with the term renunciation? I know Megan's probably familiar with it. Letitia, are you familiar with the term renunciation? Dr. Sue, what do you think of when you hear that? Because, I mean, I knew what I thought I meant. But then, then I read this.
Knew what I thought it meant until I read this too.
Right.
Okay. I thought it meant just to give up something, to renounce it, to give it up. But I didn't get the second part of this whole definition. So you want to talk about it, or are we just going to roll into it?
No, we can roll right into it. So do you want me to share what I thought? Mm-hmm. Okay. So when he was talking about the renunciation, it's not so much that I didn't realize what the definition was. It's just that I had such a negative connotation around the word period, and I don't even know why. Mm-hmm. Because when I really look at the definition and take it for what it is, it's not negative. It's just what you do. It's just it's a decision that you make. Renunciation is just another decision that you make. It ain't no different if I got two shirts, I got black and brown. If I choose black, it's not because I hate brown. It's just today I'm choosing black.
And I never thought about the negative aspect of it. Now that you mention it, it does. And generally, when we talk about it, it has negative energy attached to it because it's like you're giving up something. I think that it's like you're giving up something that you really, really want. Somebody's taking something from you. Oh, you got to give that up.
Yeah.
But that's not it.
No.
That's not it at all.
It's just, okay, anybody out there has any other things? She said, no, she doesn't know, familiar with the term. So renunciation, I wrote down the definition, and it is the formal rejection of something. What she say? I think this is Megan. Giving up something because of hate. Yeah, that's Megan. Right along those lines. Yeah, and I also thought is, for me, not just the aspect of hating something, but to give something up because you don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't want to deal with that anymore, so I'm going to shun it out of my life and out of my existence because it's not worth my time of day. And I thought that was the decision. The decision was this is something that I'm deciding I'm not going to pay attention to. Okay, so let's read the definition again. The formal rejection of something, typically a belief, claim, or course of action. So I'm like, okay, so if you reject something, I thought about like that again, the shirt. In order to make a decision, something has to be rejected. It's not that it's wrong, bad, indifferent. It's just a decision has to be made, and you can only make one. Period. That automatically puts something by default. So when I'm thinking about the formal rejection of something, I feel like that is a lot of times where the negativity comes in for me when I read it that way. So I'm thinking, instead of me doing something instinctively, it's almost like whatever I am rejecting, I gotta pick a side. I'm on the side of the road. I'm yelling, I'm screaming, I'm hating. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I ain't. That formal rejection can also be in the category of deciding. So you can say, I am aware that I've been focusing on this. And now that I've been aware of that, I'm going to make a conscious, informed decision to focus on something else. And it automatically puts that renunciation thing in the rejected column, without having to feel like you have to have the picket fence up at all times, which just creates more blocks. So what was your thoughts?
Well, I think that I am impressed with the fact that I only thought about one aspect of the definition that he uses. So he says, when you're renouncing something, you do give it up. You take your attention away from that, but you focus it on what you want. And that's the second part of the definition that I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But it just goes right into what we've been talking about relative to the law of attraction, relative to your attitude, relative to your intention, relative to creating your reality. That when you focus on, when you think about the thing that you're renouncing, often it's not what you want. It's not getting you where you want to go, right? And but all of your energy is going there. And remember, everything is energy, and so where you flow your energy, that's what you're manifesting. And you when I think now that I have an understanding of how he is using this term renunciation, it makes sense that you take your attention off of the thing that you don't want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you focus it on, so that's what you're giving up. And then you're focusing it on the thing that you do want, which
Right.
that's just rolling into the law of attraction, so that because you're now putting the energy toward the thing that you want, in fact, that's what you are creating. That is the reality that you're creating. So I was like, wow, I had to sit with that for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And again, it's a lot of terms that we use. Like there's two ends of the stick. Which one are you holding and focusing on? You know, it's what's tipping the scales. Lady Liberty, every courtroom you see, it's got that scale tipping. Well, what we add tips the scale into what focus you're focusing on. What that's what weighs. That's what's growing. And he mentioned the verse. I don't know if this is the actual verse in the Bible. However, I do know it's a song by Crystal Lewis, and it's beauty for ashes, strength for fear, gladness for mourning, peace for despair. You remember that song?
I know the rhythm. I don't know the words.
Yeah, it's beauty for ashes.
You amaze me. I forget that you can sing. See, I can't sing. I can't sing, and I can't sing, and I can't sing. So
no, you're not sing, no sing. I like to sing. I like to sing. It may not sound good, but it sure feel good every time. But it's beauty for ashes, strength for fear, gladness for mourning, peace for despair. And he mentions that in there, how it's the back and forth of our focus. They're on the same pendulum, but it's just like which way are you swinging? You know, is it something that you're honing in on? Is it something that you're just constantly running back and forth from? Because like when you're running back and forth, it's because you're thinking about what you don't want, and you're staying in that position of fearing that you're gonna get what you don't want. Instead of or is you just constantly in the wanting and wanting of the want, and you're scared you ain't gonna get what you want, or you're scared you're gonna get what you don't want. I mean, it's just like, but you're always still focused on the battle of trying to control versus opening in order to allow. Which one sounds easier? Keeping the door open like this. Oh no, I don't want that in. Or I don't want that to leave. I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to leave. I don't want. You know, it's so much force rather than sitting on this couch and opening the door and saying, "I'm waiting for what I want to walk in."
Now, to just remind them that for Neville, he sees your imagination as God within you, right?
Yeah.
And so what he's saying is control your imagination, right? Focus on what you want. That's what you get to create. Don't focus on what you don't want. But again, that is very consistent with what we know about manifestation, what we know about the law of attraction. What you focus your energy on, even if it's what you don't want, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a friend this morning, and I don't know. I've been talking about moving, so I'm moving. I get panic attacks when I ride on the highway. Telling my business, y'all. Always do. So,
You know
so my friend knows that I get these panic attacks. And even when I am riding with someone else, I have to be really, really focused so that I don't get a panic attack.
yeah.
So I'm having this conversation with her this morning, and she starts to say, well, are you sure you want to ride with that person? Because you know this could happen and that could happen. And I said, no, 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 stop it. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because you're not loving me when you do that. Right? What you're doing is focusing on the thing that I have been working so hard not to even allow that into my consciousness. But now you
Right.
want to have a conversation with it. And so I say that only to say sometimes you have to renounce not only yourself, but you have to renounce those people who they come in love many times, and many times they come otherwise. I'm just saying, but they have good intentions many times, and many times whatever. But sometimes you have to, in controlling your imagination and controlling your relationship with self and others, you have to be mindful of what is important for you. Now, if I, knowing what I know about myself and how I have anxiety attacks, if I had allowed her to go into that conversation, she was conjuring up all kinds of things that could happen. And I choose not to do that. So
Yeah.
when we talk about renouncing, focus on what you want and don't let anybody else take you over the brink to a place that you don't want to go.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah. He says in the book, he says your assumptions places you psychologically where you are not physically, and then you produce the physical forward movement in time in the direction of the concepts that you create.
Now break it down. Now break it down.
Now,
Break it
listen,
down. Because I read that. I had to read that 2 times.
let me turn the page right quick on you.
I had to read that a couple times. It's like,
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty deep. But
Yes,
but
it is.
when you think about it, it is so true, and it's really not that deep at all.
Right. And we have slid into chapter 9. I mean, we
Okay.
slid all the way like into chapter 9. So chapter 8, renunciation, right? We're talking about starting to shift the focus. Renunciation isn't trying to keep it out or keep it in. Renunciation is about leaving the door open so what is meant for you will come. And you want to focus on the coming and the allowing, not the dismissing and the hate and the fear and the dismissment of the all the negative things that are attached to letting go. Sometimes I feel like a lot of us can't really grasp this concept of release because we're so hell bent on kicking something out. And we use a lot of spiritual terms for it, cutting cords, untying ceremonies, and all of those are so necessary and needed. But if it's the only thing you're trying to focus on, those strings and veins and roots, a lot of times that comes from your imagination, because imagination just doesn't work in the areas of which we delight. They work in every area. We're imagining all the time. So these conversations you're having in your head, the arguments that you're having in your head, you done cussed him out, you done left 10 times. You know what I mean? You done threw the food in the floor. You done, I ain't cooking. We not having sex. We this, or at work, like we were talking about with Florence Scovel Shin, the lady who had already said what work was going to be like before work got there, and that's exactly what she got. That's imagination. You're using your thought process and your concepts of what's supposed to be and what people do. And like, how many people you see on Facebook almost on a regular basis? People suck. I like animals better than people. People are, the root. Money ain't the root of all evil. People are. You know what I mean? Like, we hate people, but like, if we hate society, guess who society is? It's still us.
You're attracting to you. If you hate people, you're attracting the very people that you hate. So love them so that you can attract the people that you want. One of the things that he said that I really like, He says, prune your imagination by drawing it away from all destructive and useless ideas. And I would say prune your imagination by drawing it away from all destructive and useless ideas and people.
Yeah.
And people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not that people are useless, but what they are bringing you may be useless for you.
Right. Look, yeah, you went out. We're not going chapter to chapter because she just took out of chapter 11 right there. Okay.
That was in chapter. That's in chapter 8, y'all.
No, it is.
Well, maybe he expounds on it in chapter 11, but it's in chapter 8.
Well, maybe it's in both. Anyway, but yeah, because I like that. Well, I gotta find this quote where he said, what? And this was in chapter 10 right here. I know this was in chapter 10, but it just reminded me of that when you're talking about the pruning process. Because this is, I feel like, the definition of pruning. Like if you could put a definition on pruning, it says, what determines the events you encounter? It's your concept of self. So the concepts of self that we have is what prunes us into whatever shape we have, whether it's leaves we thought are important, the vines we thought important. The other one, even the pruning process, is the withering away of it. It's not, it's the plucking, but it's also the withering away of the things that we don't pay attention to also. So it's like if we are, constantly shrooming and making sure that the tree is shaped in such a pretty way and they're plucked and whatever, because this when we think of pruning, this we're thinking all of that, whatever. But what about the roots? Like, what about what the ground quality is? Are there moles eating their way as things? Like, sometimes you got to go deep because it doesn't matter how pretty your tree is. If you constantly feel like you're having to do something, to tweak something because the tree just still don't look quite right, it ain't the top.
Yeah, it's deep.
It's the deep that needs tend to. So then he says, so I'm going to read that part again. What determines the events you encounter? He says your concept of self. So as beneath is above. If there start being trouble up here, you got to go underneath to see. And he says the concept determines the route that attention follows. And I was like, okay. So if I see, like Dr. Sue said, with the people, if you're thinking, you hate people, what is it in you that you are hating that is attracting people that spew hate, identify with hate, this and that and the other? Is it, what is that about you? It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical quality. It could be the fact that you decide to go to school and do the major that you knew you didn't want to do because somebody else told you to. Now you're living in regret. So it's causing this spew of hate. It ain't got to be nothing like, I hate myself. No, I don't hate myself. Right, we understand that, but there's something that has hate within you, and you're filtering through that hate. You're filtering through hate in some point in your life that was so impactful for you. So it has gathered so much energy within you that everything outside of you is a manifestation of the concept you created for you, not this. You pruned you. You're the only one that pruned you, because it doesn't matter who said what or who did what. At what point is it your responsibility to shift your focus to something else, or to constantly keep your focus on that thing so it perpetrates through all of your life? So what then he says, let me find this one other one.
Are we in chapter 10 still?
Yeah, no, it's going into chapter 11. So let me let you
know. We didn't even do chapter 9, girl. You got to come back. Roll it up. Come back.
Rewind, selector. So chapter 9, let's be clear, it was preparing your place. Because we just slid right in there. Because we're going from the renunciation where you gotta shift your focus so that you can be in the state of renouncing by choosing to refocus on something more positive, more expansive, better fitting for you, things that you want to come through your door instead of trying to keep something out or trying not to let something in. So then now goes into preparing your place. It says everything depends on your concept of yourself. Everything depends on your concept of yourself. So that concept of yourself will let you know if you're holding the door shut or if you're waiting for something to enter in. It's two completely different feelings. So then Dr. Sue was talking about that pruning process. That is how we, well, you go through that because you was talking about that earlier anyway, with the pruning process. When in relation to like preparing your place, because he says your assumptions will place you psychologically where you are not physically and produce physical forward movement in time towards that thing that you were assuming.
Yeah. He talks about, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And we've heard that so many times. And to relate it back to the assumptions, it's like, it's almost like, this is what I just got. It's like, remember at some point in the Bible, Jesus asked the disciples, who do men say that I am? And then he asked them, who do you say that I am? And so when we think about as a man thinketh and the assumptions that you may have, who do people say that you are? And who do you say that you are, right? If you buy into what other people say about you, and it is not in alignment with who you really know you are, then you're out of alignment and you're living somebody else's life. You are living your life based on their assumptions. And so when I think about this whole chapter, he says, hold fast in your mind that which you want to have. Do this by using your imagination to see that you already are what you want to be and already have what you want to have, right?
Yes.
And then when we get into chapter 10, creation, he says some more stuff. But that's really what stuck out for me, that if you say you have, and he really started the chapter that talking about, if you are, whosoever hath, let him have more, and whosoever have not, let him have less. So if we're going to be devoting energy to thinking and placing our intention on something and making assumptions, why not make an assumption using positive language, affirming language? Why not make an assumption about what you want? Because remember, it is your assumption really is like, what is your mindset? What is your belief system? What the voices that speak in your head, what are they saying? Are they saying that you have abundance, or are they saying you have lack? And whichever one of those voices is speaking to you, that's who you are being, and that's how you're showing up. And basically he says, citing scripture, I'm not citing the scripture, but basically he's saying, well, if you think you ain't got nothing now, you ain't got nothing, we ain't gonna give you nothing. But if you think you got something, then you know that everything you need, God has already provided.
I posted that in the Sacred Space Society way back when we first started. And I was like, everything that you think, imagine source energy that can provide anything at all, saying, okay. Because that's what it is. Where our focus goes, it just is that. You know, God is not a respecter of persons, right? It don't matter who you are. If you can believe it and you know you can do it, I'm gonna help you do it. If you don't believe you can do it, I'm gonna help you do that too. I don't care what you're doing. I'm gonna make sure that you do it. Like if you don't care, I'm gonna make you apathetic king, queen of the world. Like, you know, who don't want to be the best at something? We don't hear, you know, a lot of stories about mediocrity, you know, unless it's like it's something extreme mediocrity. You know what I mean? With someone who always is mediocre. So that's source energy though for you. It doesn't matter where your aim is. It doesn't matter where your focus is. That's what you know.
One of the things he said that I thought was so powerful, after he said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Then he said, be still and know that you are that which you desire to be, and you'll never have to search for it. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh,
It
gave some
says
chills.
a man should never go and search for himself. Where are you going? So had never thought about, the scripture, in his house there are many mansions. If it were not so, but I have told you, I go in a prepared place for you, and where I go, and the way you name it. Okay. He breaks it down, and he says the mansion is yours, the state desired. Like in my house, there's many things. Like you can have whatever you want. Like you name it. And then he says, where it says, I prepare a place for you, is you prepare the place with your imagination so that you can see it, and you prepare the place, and then you bring yourself closer to it, because imagine yourself into the feeling of that wish fulfilled, and it will move you forward across a series of events. It's the same thing when we're talking about assumptions, and it psychologically takes you physically where you are not. It works both ways. It works both ways. We think, again, the renunciation. You got to let it go. Or do you need to focus on grasping? The same thing with the pruning. Do you worry about the leaves, or do you really work on your roots where you know all the nourishment is coming from? It's the same thing with these concepts and encounters. Was it really done to me, or was it done for me? And we just keep going through this expansion of things. It's like it starts out with just yes and no, but it turns out to be, will I? Will I even allow it? Even when I see miracles happen, even when I know that wasn't a coincidence, even when I know something spared my life if I had been 1 minute ahead of time, like all these little things. And if I could just get a sign.
You cut out. I didn't hear you say.
I said, and then we say, oh, if I could just get a sign. I'm like, how many more signs you need, though?
Like, you still here. Isn't that a sign? That's a sign.
But we are creating the reality that miracles don't exist by the renunciation of the miracles that's happening every day. We're not focused on them because we're surprised when they happen, which means that it hasn't been our focus.
One of the things he said is, and I just want to know what your thoughts are here. Man believes, after he's talking about the law of assumption, man believes the future to be a natural development of the past, but the law of assumption says that is not the case.
Say it one more time.
Man believes the future. Well, first he says the law of assumption builds a bridge. And then he said, man believes the future to be a natural development of the past, but the law of assumption says that is not the case.
That is not the case. Right here, he says, true creation is becoming aware of what already is. That's why we get those instinctual things. That's why we have the deja vus. That's why we know who is calling when the phone rings before we pick it up, way before call out. We noticed it more back when there wasn't no call ID. Because the rotary would ring. You'd be like, I knew that was Aunt Sue. I knew that was Aunt Sue. Didn't I tell you? We were and then we want a sign. You know what I mean? From somewhere else, when we can instinctually pay attention to what's going on in our surroundings and what is happening. So, going back to creativity, he says that, hang on, because it was a really good definition of it. I can't find it. You can't never find that when you want it. But he's talking about how everything that has ever happened. I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day. I don't remember what it was. I'm like, Michael A. Singer says, there's never been a shipment from anywhere to Earth for anything that we didn't already have. We've never had to bring anything in here, which means that everything from the beginning of time was created from just what's here. It's just constant remixes. It said, that's what it was. He was saying about manifestation. He said, manifestation is not us. Creativity is not us creating something new. Creativity is us realizing that we can create anything we want out of what is here. That's true manifestation. And I'm like, so
I love that. And then related to that, he said, all mankind that exists already is in existence. And this was what I thought was really powerful. You can never be anything you haven't already been. So as
yes,
we are going around here trying to figure
yes.
out what our purpose is, just go inside and allow God to guide you. You don't have to go searching for yourself. You don't have to go searching for your purpose. You don't have to pay somebody all this money to tell you what your purpose is.
You gotta pay attention. Yeah. He says nothing is to ever be created. Creation is a finished process. It is only to be manifested through whatever concepts we create. Don't look, and the good thing about that is we don't even have to think about that. The concepts we create. We don't have to have any. Stop creating concepts that puts a limit on God, a limit on you. Create concepts that expand the definition of concept. How about just agree that I can be anything? I am everything. Everything that I need is here. I can live by faith. I can go by faith. I can sleep by faith because I just know that everything, every idea I have, as soon as I move forward closer to the idea and the feeling of actually accomplishing an idea, everything will show up for me. The people will show up. The money will show up. The health will show up. The travel will show up. The longevity will show up. Everything. It's never not happened. How'd you get here? Right now. Yeah, you probably want something, but just for 1 second, I want you to look through the rearview mirror and be like, hell yeah, I did. I did. Through a lot of shit. And it wasn't of your saying, okay, I got this, and then I got a little bit of this, and I got a dash of that. All right, I'm ready. No, it was just like, okay, today I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to work because I know that I need money to do this. And then I'm going to take this and then I'm going to purchase this. And then I'm going to get this skill. And then I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and do this and that and do that and do that. But along the way, we keep making these individual decisions because we're being pulled towards an idea that we had. It was the idea that started the movement. It was the focus on the idea that started the movement. Everything is a process. That is manifestation. We want to make it so ethereal. We want to make it so like the fairy godmother is coming with the pumpkin. Baby, she not coming. She done ate that pumpkin. All right. They done made pumpkin pies out of that pumpkin. That pumpkin is done. It's you. It's you. You're the
See, the thing, I'm so glad you're going there because what I always think and always share is that the ideas that you have, they don't come from the human you, they come from the God that is within you, right? And when I keep coming back to this purpose thing, because I travel that road for a long time. Oh, what is my purpose? Oh, should I do this? Oh, should I do that? But what I know, even in retrospect, I look back over the path that I've taken. I could not have planned it. I could not have planned it. And every step along the way, when I quote unquote arrived at the next step and looked back, it was like, dang, that was so perfect. Now I see. Now I see what happened. Now I see what God was doing. But as I am looking forward, I can't see. And so often when we put God in a box, it's because our vision is limited. But how about this? We're only supposed to see what is directly in front of us. Now, I said before, and I say it again, I'm human and I want to see down the street, round the corner, up the bend, under the hill, but it don't work.
How much gas is it going to take?
Yeah, I want to know it all, but it doesn't work that way. And this is what, for me, when you get to that point and you understand, that is what I call living your faith. See, you can talk your faith, and for ever so long, I talked a good game. Didn't mean that I didn't believe, but my good game was me and God doing this, right? And I'm trying to itch into the lead.
You trying to take God off.
we doing this thing, right? But what I know, when I see how God has worked in my life, every time the idea has come into my mind and I have voiced it and it has happened, and I didn't have to do anything to make those things happen. I mean, to create it, I didn't have to do anything. Granted, like when I decided, for instance, when I decided I wanted to go to law school, I just said, okay, so being real, somebody pissed me off. It was my supervisor. And I said, I don't have to deal with this. I'll go to school and get my own law degree. Because at that time I was working with the public defender's office, but I was an investigator. I looked around and I said, I can do that. That day I went home and I told my friend, I'm going to law school. And she said, which one are you going to? And I said, Florida State. And she said, oh, did you get accepted? I said, no, I didn't apply yet, but I'm going. I only applied to one institution. That was Florida State. I was accepted immediately. When I got ready to go to get my PhD, I was not even thinking about a PhD. Somebody else pissed me off. See, God, I am the girl that when God says it's time to move, I plant my feet and I'm going to stay in that space that I am no longer supposed to be in. And it never fails that he makes it so uncomfortable for me that I have to get out. Because it's like he gives the gentle nudgings that I don't take the nudgings. I mean, poof, and then it's like, okay, all hell has broke loose. I got to get up out of here before something real bad happened. And at that point, I mean, I had a major argument with the chief of police. I was furious, right? And I said, you will never again send me to some person to some person because they have a PhD, minimizing me. I went home. Now, you always have to tell one person, but be careful who you tell what you're going to do. Tell the person who you know is going to support you. So I called my friend that day and I said, I'm thinking about going to get my PhD. What do you think about that? And she says, I think it's a great idea and I know just who can help you. Within 2 weeks, I was accepted into Florida State's PhD program. And not only that, I got a full ride scholarship. I am a McKnight Fellow, one of the very few in the United States, right? They gave me money. They gave me 6 years worth of money. Now, if I had been trying to do that on my own, I can assure you it wasn't going to roll out that way. I didn't even know where to start. But I told her, she told somebody who was a faculty member at the university. He went and he told them, you need her. She's the kind of student that you need. I was I hadn't even taken their GRE. They said, just get a score. So I just got a score. It wasn't no high score, but I got a score. I was in. So what I'm saying is, stop looking for what you already have. When you get those unctions and urgings and knowing, when you wake up and it's like, this is something, that you feel it, you're being pulled toward it. Stop fighting the pull and stop trying to layer your thoughts over on it, because however it's supposed to be, God's going to bring the people to you that you need to have. Some hard-learned lessons for me.
Not to thy known understanding.
Yeah, every time it's like, okay, didn't I tell you? Like, all right. So I've finally gotten to that stage now where, okay, so let me just, okay, God, what are you doing? Even this move to Gainesville, I have said, I don't know what I'm going to find when I get there. I don't even know why I'm going because I hadn't planned to go. But I've been feeling for the last year, and it's stronger. I'm going back home. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going back home.
You've been missing it. Like, what's your next move? But Florida always came up.
Yeah. So I don't know what my next move is other than physically. I'm just trying to get to Florida, and then we'll see. We'll see.
Moving home is old. Yes, it is.
Oh, yes, it is.
I'm trying to figure out my next move myself, and I'm having a good time thinking about it because it could be anywhere. It could literally be anywhere, and I'm really excited about being able to consciously make that decision, you know, and with intent. So yeah. So what you were saying about the consciousness. Let me see. I forget where I was now. I got so deep into you.
Chapter 10, we're talking
Yeah,
about chapter 10.
we're talking about it is finished.
I wrote down one of the things he said. He said, creation is complete.
Yes.
Y'all hear that? Creation is complete. Ain't nothing else gonna be created because it is already done. And so basically the things that when you talk about purpose and what my next steps are, it's already done. You just lean into it. Just lean into it.
Only manifestation said there's nothing to be created, only manifested, and that comes through our concepts, which is why it's so important to go within, go deep. It is complete. I always have. Yeah, and I like how I was gonna say. I brought that back up. She said all things come to help. That's in the one of my favorite books. The oh goodness, The Alchemist. You know, all of the word. Whenever you come into knowing, what step you're gonna go. All of the words conspires to make sure that everything that you need is right there. Like you don't have to go searching. You just have to move in the direction that you know good and damn well you feeling pulled to go. You know it. Like we try so hard to act like we don't know what to do. We're at 15 million people. And until we get someone to validate our fear, we keep looking. You know,
stop talking about me. Stop talking about me, Carrie. Stop. That's the old me. That's not the new me. I'm just saying.
But that is the way it goes, you know. So asking for the little signs and stuff again, you know. In the the pain-free PA, your stress strategist. I'm getting some tongue twister for me. So, but yeah, The Alchemist is one of my favorite books. You know, he gives him you meme and Thummim. I forget these two rocks. It's a blackish yes, white as snow, and they said for him to until he got to trust the omens, you know, this would be something he could use to ask the question. And he asked one question, you know, would it be okay? And it was yes. And then after that, he asked another question. But when he went to reach his hand in his pocket to get the answer, both of the rocks hit the ground and fell to the ground. So he didn't know which is which. And he just felt like he couldn't ask again. So he just put them back, you know, in his pouch. And he never used them again. He just started listening to the ways of the world and fine tuning that the answers are there. It doesn't matter if you put the energy in the rocks will answer. But if you keep the energy within yourself and pay attention, you can just see the answers. You don't have to ask any questions. You just start moving and creating that vibration. Because when you ask a question of, I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. You take it however you want to say it. It's our responsibility. So when you ask a question, if you're asking from the place of confusion versus seeking an answer, you are multiplying that confusion, which is why a lot of times you get this answer from this person, this answer from this person, this answer from that. You draw a card, but then the next day the card confusion, and the moon says this, but the sun say that, and then you're going on the cycle, and you're going through so many avenues to try to find answers because you're confused, not because you are seeking answers for your solitude, for your peace, for your settlement. You know, it's still a filtering pot. We're still imagining things. When you start to thinking about asking those questions, think about what you start visualizing as an answer. If it looks like doom and gloom, now you need to figure out what is within me that's filtering doom and gloom. And let's renounce that and refocus. You know what? If I'm feeling doom and gloom, what's on the other side of that? I really want to feel peace and settlement. So let me start seeking peace and settlement. What things produce peace and settlement? What things make me feel peaceful and settled? What people make me feel peaceful and settled? What foods make me feel peaceful? Let's filter everything through peace and settlement. If you know good and well that ice cream make you feel good, but it's gonna make you boo-boo your brows out for the next 3 days, that's not peaceful and settlement. What it's gonna do, but man, I just need it. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. But we do. Like we need to filter. It's just it's the little things. It's because it's everything. It's all things. And the way that we pick and choose from the cabinets and the aisles and the shopping places of life is what recipes keep popping out of the oven day after day. Choose wisely. Where's your focus going? So we're going to close it up with chapter 11, which is the interference, which is great because it's talking about the shifting of the mindset and of the concepts that you have for yourself. What you thinking about chapter 11? I drew a whole picture for chapter 11, girl. I mean, you ain't going to see it.
Let me see what I wrote. With the
talk about how you're free to choose the concepts that
exactly. That you're free to choose your concept of self. Now, I like what you said, choose wisely. And I also, as you were talking, I thought, well, this goes back to what you were talking about with regard to the roots of the tree. The tree, we're the tree, but we've got deep roots. And so when you're talking about choosing your concept, who has been pouring into you that has also fed into the roots? And if you've got some weak roots, is it because because of the assumptions that you have, or is it because you have bought into somebody else's assumptions that are weakening your roots? You have the power to choose who you want to be. Yeah. The thing I like about, the thing I love about living today, every day I can reinvent myself. Every day, throughout the day, if I don't like the me that I'm being, I can just sit with it and decide, oh, I don't like that. I want to be something else. I want to do something else, right? And it's like, that doesn't feel good. Somebody says something, and maybe before I would have went, yes. No, there's something wrong with that. That doesn't feel right, right? And so I get to what I think of in terms of pivot to your greatness. Embrace the fact that, again, you are all that you need and you have everything that you need. And as he said in the previous chapter, there's nothing else that is going to be created under the sun, but you get to rearrange the building blocks that exist within you every day, all day, as long as you want to. So who is the you that you want to be?
Yeah, he says you are free to choose a concept that you will accept of yourself. Therefore, you possess the power of intervention. I was like, I thought that was pretty cool. When we think about intervention and people come in and, they got the whole TV show, like Johnny, and good and well, you stole all your daddy's money. And, it's all drawn out, but we don't have to.
You don't have to have somebody outside of you telling you.
We know before anyone knows when an intervention is needed, especially when it comes to mindset, because we get to stirring over things. Like you'll find yourself in the kitchen. Like I know with me, like I'll find myself in the kitchen and I'm literally playing out my part of the conversation, their part of the conversation. It might even be a third party part of the conversation. And you're right. I mean, you got so many good callbacks, baby. You got everywhere right. Oh, really? Well, how about you ready? You playing the whole thing out. And then I just bust out laughing. I'm like, girl, you have no idea what this person was saying. You don't even know if what you talking about even make any sense. You have no ground to stand on for none of this. And it just becomes really funny, but you do get to choose. You get to choose those thoughts and you can create that intervention of the path that you're going down through that's leading towards a concept to be manifested in your life. So at that moment, you can say, I'm going down this avenue, but I know good and damn well I saw where I was going back that way. So what better time than to turn around now? I do not have to go all the way down this road to prove to myself that I'm on the wrong road. And there ain't no way that going down is gonna save me no time either. It gain experience for what? You know, that's what I feel like that's what blocks are. It becomes a memory callus. We've been down that lane so many times that we created a callus, a buildup. Because we rubbed it thick, we rubbed it worn. Like, you know, it's like that callus, you know, that's on the edge, you know, the edge of your foot and on the top of your toe, where it's just thicker. You think something rubbing it like that would make it smoother. But over time, it builds up a resistance to being bothersome. And then we can't, it's hard to penetrate. Now we gotta go get this bunion shaved off. And now it's painful. We got recovery time, whatever. When all we had to do was turn around. You knew when you put them shoes on, they was too tight, but you went with your outfit.
But I'm gonna be cute.
And in pain.
I have to say this has nothing to do with what we were talking about, maybe. When I first came to Atlanta in 2001, I remember there was a night when it was so cold. It was so cold. It was probably like about 18 degrees outside. And the news, you know how the news reporter goes out and he's interviewing women and men, but women who are coming out of the club. And this one girl, she had on like a mini skirt and a little jacket, a little lightweight jacket. It was not appropriate for the weather. So he was asking her, "Aren't you cold?" And she said, "I had to choose between being cute and cold. I chose cute." So it's all about choice.
That's what we do,
all the way. We have choice, right? And going back to what we talked about with the assumptions, what are you telling yourself? Those are your beliefs. Whatever it is, whatever you believe is the reality that you are creating. But remember, what did he say? There's nothing new in essence under the sun. And the thing that I love is he says, everything is yours. Assume it, claim it, and don't go seeking for that which you already have. And so often when, like, I have people sometimes who will reach out to me and they will want a quote unquote reading, an intuitive reading, or I don't really like to do that. I don't like to do it depending on the person. I don't like to do it because if you are coming to me for the answer to tell you what to do next, that's not my role.
No.
And that's not, and you ought not to be going to somebody else to have them tell you how to live your life, right? But if you're just in essence gathering data, and this is just one source of data, and then you're sitting with it, you in alignment with God, you're just processing what you've got and asking. I tell my clients, stay in the ask, meaning don't ask me, ask source. And you're asking source, then you get the answer that you need. Don't rely on any man or any woman to tell you how to live your life. If you don't know the answer, understand this. This is my belief. You don't know the answer. I'm reading Michelle's comment. Yeah. If you ask source for guidance and you don't get an answer, that is the answer. That's the answer. Just be still. What did it say? Be still.
No. Oh, you froze.
Being still doesn't mean that you're not doing anything. It does mean that you're not running over to somebody else saying, "Tell me what to do with my life." It just means that you're going to continue on the path that God has set for you, because you know in your heart when you're going the right way, and then you're going to wait for further instructions. So stay in the ask. Be still is an active process. Stay in the ask. But you don't have to go to the, I'm not going to even name different people. I'm just saying.
You ain't going to put nobody out there.
So Michelle has been contributing a lot. Read what she said. She said something earlier about communication that I thought was really pretty cool.
Communication leads to speculation.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been going right up. They've been trying to put them down before the topic changes. That's why I was like, let me put it up here right quick. But yeah, I like this too, and trust in that silence, because when you can be still in that, you know, you really can know the difference between an echo of something that you heard and a message coming through, because it's two different things. It's two different things, because sometimes we have to renounce that voice in our head too. You know, that makes us think that something that happened now, something that has presently happened, is also attached to something that happened before that was very similar. And a lot of times we'll attach to those experiences, and then it becomes a pattern for us when typically it was just isolated events, because what one person did had to be filtered through their experiences of their life, and what someone else did was filtered through the experiences of their life. And even though the manifestation of it came through the same for you, it does not connect those two events, other than the fact that you filtering something, and those things that are appearing shares that same energy of what you're filtering. You know, a lot of times we try to, it's always the argument, well, why would someone want cancer? Why would someone manifest cancer? It's not necessarily the cancer, but it may have been the strongest vibration of a feeling that has been filtered through them about something else. Some people go through cancer in fear. Some people go through cancer in shame. Some people go through cancer in dignity. It's not always this thing that is detrimental. Sometimes it provides exactly what was needed. Everything is a tool. It ain't no different than some people being billionaires and millionaires. You think every billionaire and millionaire is a good role model for positive things? Some of them are great role models for negative things. It's the same thing for things we consider negative, like cancer, that can be a positive thing. But with the concept you created, that's why a lot of people die of cancer, because they automatically identify with the death sentence that's been created as a concept of cancer.
Back to those assumptions. What are your assumptions? What do you believe?
And then that's the road you start to travel down. You start to move forward in the way of the concept you created about the experience that you also created. Pay attention. Pay attention. Please pay attention. It says your imagination forms substance into concepts. Ooh-wee. Your imagination forms substance into concepts. And then the concepts, follow me, the concepts are manifested as conditions, circumstances, and physical objects. Thus, imagination makes up your entire world.
Pretty deep.
That's deep as it gets. I mean, that's as deep as it gets. This pillar right here, this made up a concept I believed about myself. These pants, this scarf, all of this is concept. Sometimes you see me in this, sometimes you don't. But today's concept is, let me tell you about my day. I had two friends over to the house. We ate spaghetti together. I made a beautiful arrangement on their plates with spaghetti, breadsticks, and I made a Greek salad. And then we sat in the floor and painted for an hour. Now that's what I'm doing. This is my painting. I put it right behind me. I'm like, if I get around to it, I'm gonna show everybody my little painting. I put a feather on it.
I love that. Oh, I love that.
A little flower and a seashell on it.
Oh, that's so nice. Girl, I can hardly wait to get to Florida. I'm gonna paint something. I don't know what I'm gonna paint.
Oh, we paint something. Have I showed you my stool? I painted this stool.
No, I love that. We're gonna have a virtual paint party, y'all.
Yeah, girl.
Just let me get there and get situated. Give us a month and we're gonna have a virtual paint party. Y'all want to come?
I'm coming. I'm so coming. I'm gonna be in person, because I gotta get to Gainesville anyway to see my boy. I gotta see my boy. He don't know it yet, but we like this. Michael A. Singer. If anyone don't know who I'm talking about Michael A. Singer. I got to get there. So anyway, these are concepts that we create. And we set limbs on. I remember I went to a party one time and I had on like 4 or 5 necklaces. And a lady walked up to me. She said, "Oh my God, those are so beautiful. I wish I could wear multiple necklaces like that." I said, "You can." She said, "They don't look right on me." I said, "Only because you think they don't look right on you." And she just stood there And I to this day, I'm like, I don't know if she ever did it, but I'm like, I hope she did. If you want to wear it, it's not like you got to wear them every single day. It doesn't have to be part of your identity. It's today I'm feeling 5 necklace-ish. Tomorrow I might not. It's like, why does the concept of today have to apply to tomorrow? That is how we move forward. We are constantly evolving. That's why the lotus flower is very representative of life, because we're constantly unfolding. You think, where are all these leaves coming from? And it keeps on opening up to itself. And it's
I love
not
that. I love that.
It will never hold on to the oldest memory of itself, which is that outer limit. And it just lays it down. It surrenders it. It just lays it down. It doesn't pluck itself. It just says, I'm only paying attention and I'm only giving power to what's growing. What's
Going
new.
back to where we started, renunciation.
Renunciation. Renunciation does not have to be keeping something out or demanding something to come in. It's just allowing the path to unfold you as you fine-tune your awareness to what you are focusing on. That's it. And are you focusing on what you want? Or are you just letting your imagination run haywire? And that's a little picture I drew. I know it looks horrible. It's so funny though. Look at it.
Oh, okay.
It's somebody holding on to a steering wheel. We only want to hold on to the steering wheel when we're manifesting money, jobs, boo, lovers, good health, or whatever. But once we get it, then we're like this. And we're not using our imagination anymore because we feel like we've arrived at something. So a lot of the things and the people and the places start to creep back in, and we start listening to these things, and then we're wondering why. God just woke up in a weird mood this morning. I feel like kind of anxious. Think about what you listened to, who you talked to, the conversation you had, what you ate in the last 48 hours or so. See what changed. I guarantee you'll see something has started to seep back in. Not because you was trying to keep it out, and not because it wasn't necessary for you to engage.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at Michelle.
I know. But it's because you let your focus be taken. You can engage in a conversation without it actually expending your energy and taking your focus. So you just got to pay attention. Which one was you laughing at?
She says she's going to paint by the numbers.
Mine's by number though. We'll put you some numbers on there, boo. We'll do it. We'll get it. So
all right, girl. We've been on here a little bit longer than we
we gotta wrap it on up. So yeah, we're not gonna do the Zoom tonight. I hope y'all weren't waiting on it, but this girl gotta lay down and be still. And I'm gonna be honest, I ain't got shit to do. I just want to lay flat on this bed and I want to focus on how good this day has felt for me. I want to just ravish in how complete and how full I feel today. And I want to do that on purpose. And I'm sorry, I want to share it today. I want it to be all to myself. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm having some nice cold water. And I'm going to put me on a good movie. And I might just let it watch me. But I'm going to just really roll around in how beautiful of a day this is. This conversation tonight. Talking about Neville Goddard alone. It's just been, this has been the cherry to my ice cream this evening. How you feeling, Dr. Sue, as we wrapping up tonight?
It's been good. I finished my packing. I got boxes everywhere.
Yeah.
I have had an opportunity over the last couple of weeks to meet in person with people that are important to me. And so I've got another week that I'm just having lunch and or dinner with folk that I want to see in person, people who are here. So that's been good. I had lunch today with a friend. And I think that, given all the energy that I put toward these boxes, I think I'm going to take if I can find the space, I'm going to push stuff over, find a little space, crawl up in it, and maybe I'll watch. I don't watch TV, but I'll listen to something on YouTube.
I got a movie for you.
What? I'll write it down.
No. I'm gonna send it to you in Messenger. Because I gotta reach out to somebody to figure out the name of it, but I know who know the name of it. because I was thinking of it earlier today. I'm like, I would like to watch it again, but I can't remember the name of it. I'm gonna send it to you. But yeah,
But you know, I don't have TV, y'all. I don't stream anything.
I got this computer that I'm on right now.
Yep, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
all right, Terry.
I want to say one thing. If you want to join the Sacred Space Society group, I'm going to put the link in the comments. We do challenges every week. This was the first one. Megan Marie won tonight. She won the little care package, which is 2 soaps, some spray, and a stone. Next week, the challenge is a dance challenge. But you got to join the group in order to get the details. But it's a dance challenge, but it's well worth it. This week, it was to write a celebratory letter to yourself. And they were absolutely beautiful. I was wanting to comment today. I'm like, I'm going to wait till all the entries come in, and then I'm going to comment individually to each one to just celebrate them. So that's what the group is all about. If y'all want to be celebrated, if you want to just celebrate others, just grow spiritually, that's the place to be. Dr. Sue also has a group, Red Diamond Group. Join her group. She drops some bombs in there. She go do her random lives when she's in the park and we're walking. And she also does lives with some other people. I know they have some plans for a retreat coming up next year. Me and Dr. Sue got plans for some retreat too. So get on us in our social medias to keep up with us, because we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot. Things are happening. Things are happening, and it's feeling good. Y'all better ride. Oh, and I'm gonna say goodbye and I love you, and then I'm gonna drop a little gem. High vibes coming back. High vibes coming back. High vibes coming back. High vibes coming back. So I'm gonna let y'all know when. The details are coming, and I'm very excited. It's gonna be real good. Love you guys.
Love you. You know, as I was thinking about what we are doing, it really is an opportunity for people to connect with their beingness. We are not conscious of the compartmentalization. We just say, this is who I am, right? Who you are is different depending on the environment that you find yourself in, or the people that you find yourself connected with. So I hold myself out as an example. You know, at 71 years old, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey to self-acceptance. And I think it may be that way for many of us, that we look at the pieces of ourselves and decide, I can show that, no, I can't show that. Is there a danger? How deep is the danger if I show you all of me? Oh, I can show these people this part of me, and these people this part of me, and these people this part of me. And then the question is, how long before you get tired of just compartmentalizing your beingness?